Hey, what is up guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'll be telling you guys whether you should be getting this avatar board. I feel like these news makes it really hard for, like, I should be producing a lot more of these videos where I talk about the avatar boards and whether whether you should go for it or whether you shouldn't go for it, because it does require jewels to purchase, and anything that requires jewels, it indicates to us as a free-to-play player that we should be really careful with how we spend and stuff. So yeah, anyway, without any further ado, let's get into this. So I'm just going to give like an overall general view of the avatar board. People who tune into my videos at this point in time, you may not have this board available, because like it says, all avatar boards are only available during a set period. Once those periods are over, there is no chance of getting them back again. So in a way, it's very limited. It's like a limited edition sort of kit. So you got to pick it up while it's there. So to begin with, I wouldn't recommend buying every avatar board you see that comes out, because if you do that, then you won't be able to have enough jewels to obviously pull for medals. And when something like a high score challenge comes up, which would require you to be pulling to get those medals in order to gain those additional points, if the high score challenge does require you to get certain medals in order to gain like good points, good overall high score points at the end of the round, then you're gonna need jewels to purchase those. And the only way us free-to-play players will get jewels is from either they giving us from events, or we tuning in every day to their daily deals, daily logins. Yeah, so that's the only way we can actually get jewels, and as well as completing the objectives and events, as well as maintenance issues that they try and compensate us back. But it's still quite hard to gain solid jewels. However, what you should really look for in terms of the avatar board is what they actually offer, and whether the skills that actually are available for offer are actually worth getting. Now, if you've been following up since the I would say Zemnis event in January, Zemnis B event in January, there was a chance for you to pull medals and get an attack boost free skill for like 3,000 jewels. And not sure if it was actually, I can't really remember the exact information, but it was during the last 2 days of the Zemnis B event. They had this banner where you could pull a set of medals and hope to get an attack boost free or an defense boost free skill for 3,000 jewels. Now, that's during that time, that was a really good skill that people wanted to use in order to defeat the enemies, because they were super hard. Fast forward back to now, we are now able to obtain such skill from the avatar boards, which costs 2,500. So you save an extra 500 jewels, plus it's a guaranteed that you get this skill. I wasn't sure if the previous one was guaranteed or not, but you had to spend an extra 500. So to make back an extra 500 and get some random medals, I don't think it's really worth it, because you're not it's medals at the end of the day, but not only does you get medals, but you may not be the right one for you to guild and get powerful. So it's not worth. This board, however, is much more worth it, because not only you get attack boost 3, you also get the attack boost 2 plus attack prize, which is very useful skill. What it allows you to do is, if it does trigger, obviously you gain attack boost 2, as well as when you attack the enemy, the prize, so the health and the SP refill gauge orbs, I should say, they generate more based on the damage. So it's very useful in high score challenges where there won't be many boxes that recovers your SP gauge. So you have to have these skills which sort of help you prolong your way if you don't have very good medals, or you have medals that can that does the job but require maybe twice as much as if someone who's like higher level with much better medals and only uses that, then the Keyblade uses less uses less gauges in order to defeat a certain amount of enemies. So for instance, a Keyblade holds 15 has 15 SP gauges, and maybe 3 of the slots that you use in order to complete such event requires you to have medals that uses 3 gauges each. That requires 3 gauges each. That would mean using 3 of those, you would have to minus 9 gauges out of your 15, which leaves you with 6. And with 6 gauges, you got to ration out between your next 3 attacks whether you should use them or not. So it's not really effective, and if your Keyblade costs so much, you need a way, because of your setup, what you're given, you work with what you're given. And if that is the case, then the answer to that really is attack prize, attack boost 2 plus attack prize. That is the main point, the selling point of these 2 avatar boards, is mostly the skills. The other bonus medals, it's just an add-on. I see it as an add-on. It's not really very useful. But the attack boost prizes and attack boost and attack prize and attack boost 3 are the main 2 that you need. Like they will really help you as a free-to-play player. When the high score challenge comes, if you have a Keyblade that has both of these, I can guarantee you're going to get quite far with them. Especially if you have one that requires 4 SP, 4 costs to use. That's quite costly. And with an attack prize at max level, you may be, if I'm not mistaken, you may even be able to gain more than 4 back. I think that depends on your damage. I personally I don't own a attack boost plus attack prize, so I don't know the damage, but I have used it with a friend's medal, so it is very good to have as a way of refilling your SP gauge back, because there's no, well, I wouldn't say there's no common and easy to get medal that actually refills your SP gauge back, apart from, I think it was KHUx 1 medal, which was a limited edition one that's now gone. out of question, we can't get it anymore, or we can't get it at the moment, but they could come back later, but we don't know about that. But talking about the present now, attack prizes is the only way you can regen your attack, your SP gauge while in battle before defeating an enemy. So, you know, that's the main selling point of this board, and this is the reason why we should, as a free-to-play player, get this. I will be picking up this after I back out. But yeah, overall, the items, not really too worried about them. You know, it's mostly just for the skills that is given in this board. 2 of the best skills at the moment now. This board is worth it. I know what you may be asking, because after you buy this, okay, what if a good pull comes out? Well, you know, if a good banner comes out and you've already spent 2,500 on this board, skills will take you, you know, if you have a good skill, that can carry you quite much further than a non-gilded medal. So most likely you're going to put one of these skills on one of your gilded medals at the moment, which is good because it will do a lot of damage, and it's going to be one of the ones that you're going to be guaranteed to use. And what's also good about these is if you max them out, you can then overwrite the skill onto another a new medal. Potentially, if one of your main setups, for example, is a Stitch, Stitch from Lilo and Stitch, you know, costs 1 gauge to use and attacks 13 times, and does more damage over if the more successful gauges is used. You know, that medal, let's say for instance that was your main damager at one stage. Now you've gotten better and you've gotten much better medals, you can then transfer that skill from that medal onto your new one and still have and keep the remaining effect of the attack boost, and add the attack boost to an attack prize onto your new medal. You see, that's the good thing about it. You can transfer skills if you have a skill, rather than worrying about the medal. If you gilt a medal and it's not useful anymore during this period, then it pretty much goes into your inventory and it just stays there until you think, okay, maybe I should bring them out again, or if it's needed again. You know, these skills will last you a long time if you can get your hands on them. Definitely get your hands on them. It is the best way to progress in a free-to-play game. Well, as us free-to-play players anyway. This will last you until you quit the game. While medals, they come and go. There's new ones every so often. New attacks, you know, new effects. You're just gonna keep chasing up and feel like, I need this one because it does this damage, I need that one because it does this damage, oh, this is a nice attack, might as well get that. But these ones will actually carry you through to the high score challenge and the Colosseum, and guess what, at the end of the high score challenge and the Colosseum, you get free stuff. You don't need to keep spending if you get these sort of skills. So the point is I'm trying to make is that skills, any skill that is attack boost 3 or attack boost 2, as of right now, from this video that being recorded, you know, get them if you can, like, go for it. I know the Colosseum for the February event, If you can get up to the top 1000 on the leaderboard, you get attack boost free plus attack prize. That's a really good amount of damage, and monsters are going to get harder, so we will need more SP gauge to use our medals in order to fight and defeat them quite quickly. So we're going to need these skills, not medals, skills. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing much more to say about it. It's pretty straightforward. So in the context of a future, for people that's watching this video, but in the future, you know, they could have attack boost 5. I don't know if the game lasts that long. Then by all means go for it on an avatar board. But as a rule of thumb, do have a look around, like the do wait sort of near the end, unless you're really certain that you do need it. Then, you know, go for it. But otherwise, do wait around to see what bring comes up. Do not be tempted to pull the medals over this. You need skills over the medals. That is just, you know, the main thing that will carry you throughout. The high score challenge, you gain new medals from the event. These medals, you can't buy them. You won't get them at all. But the medals, medals during that high score challenge event that you, if you want to, pull for and use in the event to gain higher skills, those medals will remain there forever and whenever Square decides to release them as another separate pool, then we will be able to obtain them. But likewise, the skills and the high score medals, you can never pick them up. So in order to actually be efficient and get through them, you would need these skills and those medals for the high score challenge. So you see, skills comes first, then medals. So that's to do relation with the skills and how important it is. I'm now going to be talking about my sort of who I would ideally put these for. So with attack boost 3, it's pretty much whoever hits the hardest for a set of Keyblade. So you have a look around your Keyblade and you want to put it on someone who has a high multiplier, base multiplier, and someone who would actually fit in all of your Keyblades in some form or another. The only, like, in terms of that, what I mean is, if you say, okay, a power medal, I have Majesty, which I'll just bring up to make the explanations a bit simpler. So for example, my Majesty, the multiplier is 4.25, right? So with this and attack boost 3, obviously it does a lot more damage. So you want to look for to put on medals where the Keyblade utilizes them rather than it doesn't. So not a lot of my Keyblades, for example, in the slots that actually does the most damage, it seems like the uprights for my set of Keyblades anyway. So the uprights meaning the ones with the golden border around, not the black borders like this one, see is black. That's probably not the best to show, but yeah, this one is black. So they're the downrights. So yeah, wherever the metals can fit in well, you want to put on those ones, because for example my Olympia blade, my Majesty, the slot it gives is 2.7, and because it being an upright, it's increased to 2.0 at base, but if I have the upright version, it increases the boost by 2.7. Rather, if I put my Pete, timeless Pete, which is a downright, onto my keyblade, it becomes 2.0 because it doesn't fit. So if I had my tap boost 3, you know, I would look for metals that are used a lot around and does have a high hit, because you're definitely guaranteed to have a keyblade that has an upright and downright, but then it depends on their multiplier, whether it's a high multiplier or a low multiplier. For instance, in the Divine Rose, the highest is the speed, and it's a downright. See, highest on upright is 2.7. So would I really want to be putting it into the downright metals? Well, not really, because you then need to think about other metals. Here, there's another downright again, but it's for the wrong type, so we can't have a look at that one. This is a new keyblade, which I'm not sure what it gives at the moment, so I wouldn't really make my judgment on that. Starlight, no, not again. No downrights. And the Lady Luck, which again has a speed and is the downright versions that has a high multiplier. So okay, in that sense, in that conclusion, then downrights with for speed attributes is the one you want to put attack boost 3 on. Now, I can't really tell you guys which metal to put it on, but I would say look for medals that actually attack a lot, so it deals more hits rather than doing a single hit. Because if it does more hits, it's likely that the multiplier on the number will be quite high rather than a single hit. So yeah, that's for individual medals that I feel like you should put attack boost 3 on, or even just attack boost 3, because now I want to talk about attack boost 2 with attack prize. Same thing really, the ones with the most hitters should be the ones utilizing them, but do have a look at the damager, so how much the damage increase does. If one damager only deals 2 hits but has a really high damage multiplier, then the one that you have that does more hits but less multiplier, then you know, don't go for that one. Go for the one that does the more damage but less attack, if that's the case, you know. Otherwise, if you have a World of Final Fantasy medal, attack boost 3 or attack prize on any of them would be very useful, because this keyblade ignores the attribute when you summon, when you use the attack. So it doesn't matter which keyblade you put it in, any slot, it will still do damage, like plus damage. So it may not be, if you put in a keyblade that doesn't have, for example, my World of Final Fantasy medal lightning, if I was to put it in a treasure, treasure love, because it's a power base, even though it doesn't gain the multiplier effects from it being power based medal, because it's not a power based medal, so you can't gain the extra multiplier. At least the attack price will still trigger, and because with the World of Final Fantasy medals, it ignores all attributes. It's still gonna do, and that, like, the attack of the color will be yellow, so meaning that it's the right attribute, rather than sometimes it being white, which is neutral, and blue, which is, you know, not effective. So putting attack boost and attack price on your World of Final Fantasy medals is probably definitely a good choice, because it ignores attribute. That is the key thing, it ignores attribute. With the, if you don't have any World of Final Fantasy medals, the only suggestion I could really say is, again, put it on someone who hits a lot. So for example, my Xemnas A, it hits a lot only if I keep using in succession, but it still hits 13 times. Yeah, you know, that's good, because it's per hit. Every hit you do, it regenerates you back the attack price, rather than my Majesty, which just deals flat out good damage but only 6 attacks. So only 6 of those times I'm gonna get some attack prizes back. Not really great. Hits hard, yes, but I won't be gaining as many, but I will lose out 7 more hits, which could potentially change the difference. And if you can, do put it on a medal that hits a lot and is sort of fully maxed out. This right here, so that increases the damage. Because yes, in terms of damage, if I had put it on my Majesty over my Xemnas A, this one still would have done way more damage because of the multiplier. But the whole point of the attack price is to rely on the number of hits. Now, if you have, for example, let's see, I'll take this guy as example. This Stitch here, you know, it does quite a lot of damage because it's multiplied by 3.14, but it's only a 25% extra damage. You would want to avoid that now, because, you know, if 25 is the maximum for your medal before you cannot level up anymore, give it more power, then avoid it. 50 avoid as well. Go for ones that are kind of have an increase of level up to level 100 and attack a lot. Then you're utilizing that skill much better, because it's unlikely that once you put on these when you put these like rare skills onto such medal, you're not going to be changing, like wanting to overwrite the skill and transfer that skill over to another medal, because you're wasting money at the same time. Unless, if this was what you had when you first started off during this campaign right now, you have a Stitch only, and that's like one of your highest attacks and whatever and stuff, then yeah, I mean, you could go for it, or you could just save it. Really, the choice is there. But what you should really take away from watching this video is that these are the 2 strongest spells currently out. so it's worth getting them. And that's about it. I shall conclude this video here, and thank you guys for watching. I haven't, unless there's anything major or that I would want to talk about, then yeah, by all means I will then make a video about it. But a lot of times during the February, because it's practically nothing's happening around, like no special events. I know all the shows are pretty much on the Final Fantasy because of its 30th anniversary. So I feel like other games may step their game up. If they do, then hey, you know, I'm sure to be here and I'll keep you guys up to date with these things. Otherwise, until next time, catch you later.